You spent 3 hours scrolling last night, and you can't even remember what you saw. Not a single video, not a single post. Just 3 hours gone, like they never existed. Except they did. And now they're over, and you're lying there thinking, I just wasted my entire evening. Again. And the worst part? You weren't even tired. You just couldn't sit still, couldn't be alone with your thoughts, couldn't rest without feeling like you should be doing something. So you scrolled and called it a break. But it wasn't a break, it was just avoiding being awake. You had plans, you were going to work on that thing, you were going to be productive, you were going to do something that mattered, but instead you picked up your phone, just for a second, just to check one thing, and then it was 3 hours later and you had nothing to show for it except that you just threw away time you'll never get back. And the worst part, you'll probably do it again tomorrow. I think we need to talk about wasting time, not in the here's how to be more productive way, not in the stop scrolling and start grinding way, but in the honest way, the way that asks, why does wasting time feel so bad? And is it actually bad? Or have we just convinced ourselves that every moment needs to be useful? Because I think there's something happening here that's deeper than just phone addiction or lack of discipline. I think we're stuck in this weird place where we can't rest without feeling guilty, but we also can't actually do anything meaningful because we're too tired. So we end up in this middle zone, scrolling, not resting, not working, just existing in this numb space where time disappears and we feel worse and worse about ourselves. Here's what I've noticed. When you're scrolling, you're not actually enjoying it. You're not having fun. You're not relaxed. You're just doing it. Your thumb is moving, your eyes are processing information, but nothing is landing. Nothing is sticking. You're consuming content, but you're not actually taking anything in. And then 3 hours pass and you can't remember a single thing you saw. It's all just gone. Like those 3 hours never existed, except they did. And now they're over and you can't get them back. And that's when the feeling hits, that sinking, awful feeling of, I just wasted my life. I just threw away 3 hours doing nothing. I had time. I could have done something. I could have created something, learned something, connected with someone. But instead, I scroll through an endless feed of things I don't even care about. And tomorrow, I'll do it again. But here's the thing I keep coming back to. Is it really wasted time? Or does it just feel wasted because we've been told that every moment needs to be productive? Like, what if you spent 3 hours watching a movie? Would you feel guilty? Probably not. What if you spent 3 hours talking to a friend? Would you call that wasted time? Number. You'd call that connection. You'd call that living. But 3 hours scrolling, that feels like failure. That feels like you're broken, like you lack discipline or willpower or whatever other word we use to beat ourselves up. And I wonder, why is that? I think it's because scrolling doesn't give us anything. It's not rest. It's not fun. It's not connection. It's just numbing. It's just a way to not be present, a way to not think, a way to fill time without actually experiencing it. When you watch a movie, you're engaged, you're feeling something, you're present with the story. When you talk to a friend, you're connecting, you're sharing, you're being seen. But when you're scrolling, you're hiding, you're avoiding, you're running from something, maybe from the anxiety of having too much to do, maybe from the emptiness of not knowing what you want, maybe from the exhaustion of being awake and conscious and having to deal with your own thoughts. Scrolling is the escape that doesn't actually let you escape. It's the break that doesn't actually let you rest. It's the in-between zone where you're neither working nor relaxing, just suspended, floating, number. And I think that's why it feels so bad, not because you wasted time, but because you weren't even present for the time you had. You didn't rest. You didn't do anything meaningful. You just disappeared for a few hours, and when you came back, nothing changed except now you feel worse about yourself. It's not the time that was wasted. It's the fact that you weren't even there for it. There's this thing that happens when you're doom scrolling. You tell yourself you're just taking a break. Just 5 minutes. Just need to decompress. Just need to zone out for a second before you get back to things. But 5 minutes turns into an hour. An hour turns into 3. And you're not decompressing. You're not resting. You're just feeding the algorithm. You're just letting your brain go numb while an endless stream of content washes over you. And the whole time, there's this voice in the back of your head, the one that's counting, the one that's saying, you should stop, you should get up, you should do the thing you were supposed to do. You're running out of time, you're wasting your life. But you don't stop. You keep scrolling, because stopping means facing the thing you were avoiding. Stopping means acknowledging that you just spent hours doing nothing. Stopping means feeling the guilt fully instead of just half feeling it, while your thumb keeps moving. So you stay in the scroll, in the numb zone, where you feel bad but not bad enough to change anything. I did this last week. I had a whole evening free. No obligations, no plans, just time. And I told myself, I'm going to use this time well. I'm going to work on that project I've been putting off, or I'm going to read, or I'm going to do something that actually matters. And then I picked up my phone, just to check something just for a second. And 3 hours later, I was still there, still scrolling, still telling myself just one more video, then I'll stop. Still feeling that growing pit in my stomach as I watched the time disappear. And when I finally put the phone down, it was too late to do anything, too late to start the project, too late to read, too late to do anything except go to bed feeling like I'd just thrown away an entire evening. And the thing is, I wasn't even tired. I wasn't burnt out. I just didn't want to face the blank page, didn't want to face the possibility of trying and it not being good enough. So I scrolled instead, because scrolling doesn't require anything from me. It doesn't ask me to be creative or thoughtful or present. It just asks me to keep my thumb moving. And that felt safer, easier, even though it made me feel worse. I think that's the trap of wasting time. It's not that we're lazy. It's not that we lack discipline. It's that doing something meaningful feels risky. It requires something from us. It requires us to be present, to try, to potentially fail. But scrolling requires nothing. And when you're already exhausted from just existing, from managing anxiety, from trying to figure out what you even want from life, nothing sounds pretty good. So you scroll, not because you want to, but because it's the path of least resistance. Because it's the only thing that doesn't ask anything from you, except it does ask something from you. It asks for your time, your attention, your presence, and it gives you nothing back except the feeling that you just wasted hours of your life. Here's what I've been thinking about lately. What if the problem isn't that we're wasting time? What if the problem is that we can't tell the difference between rest and numbing anymore? Rest is good. Rest is necessary. Your brain needs downtime. Your body needs to not be productive for a while. You need moments where you're not trying to optimize or improve or achieve anything. But doom scrolling isn't rest. It's numbing. It's avoidance. It's your brain trying to escape from something, but never actually getting the break it needs. Rest is watching a movie you actually want to watch. Rest is lying on the couch, doing nothing and being okay with it. Rest is taking a walk without your phone. Rest is being present with the fact that you're not doing anything productive right now, and that's fine. Numbing is scrolling for 3 hours and not remembering any of it. Numbing is constantly consuming content, but never actually absorbing anything. Numbing is feeling worse after you stop than you did before you started. Rest fills you back up. Numbing just empties you out slower, and I think we've gotten so bad at resting that we don't even know what it looks like anymore. We think rest has to be productive, it has to be self-care, it has to be intentional and mindful and optimized, but sometimes rest is just doing nothing and being okay with doing nothing, not scrolling through your phone while you do nothing, not half watching TV while you scroll, just sitting there, being bored, letting your brain wander, letting yourself be present with the fact that right now, in this moment, you don't have to be anything or do anything. That's rest, and we've forgotten how to do it. So instead we scroll, because scrolling feels like we're doing something. It feels like we're filling the time, but we're not resting. We're not actually taking a break. We're just running away from stillness because stillness feels uncomfortable. I'm not saying scrolling is evil. I'm not saying you should never waste time. I'm not here to tell you to delete all your apps and become a productivity monk who optimizes every second of the day. I'm just saying, maybe we need to be honest about what scrolling actually is. It's not rest. It's not fun. It's not connection. It's avoidance. And avoidance is fine sometimes. We all need to avoid things sometimes. We all need to not deal with stuff for a little while. But when avoidance becomes your default, when you can't sit still without reaching for your phone, when every free moment gets filled with scrolling, that's when it stops being a break and starts being a problem. Not because you're wasting time, but because you're not even present for the time you have. Here's what I've been trying lately, and it's small, really small, but it's helped. When I catch myself reaching for my phone out of habit, out of that automatic need to fill empty space, I pause and I ask myself, am I actually tired? Do I actually need a break? Or am I avoiding something? If I'm actually tired, if I actually need rest, I try to rest for real. I put the phone away, I lie down, I let myself be bored for a minute. I let my brain just exist without input. And if I'm avoiding something, I try to just name it. I try to say, okay, I'm scared of starting this thing, or I'm anxious about how this will turn out, or I just don't want to deal with my own thoughts right now. And sometimes after I name it, I still scroll. Because I'm not perfect. Because sometimes I still need the numbing. Because sometimes avoidance is what I need in that moment. But at least I'm honest about it. At least I know what I'm doing. I'm not lying to myself that I'm taking a break or decompressing. I'm avoiding. And that's okay, as long as I'm aware of it. Because here's the thing, you're going to waste time. Everyone does. You're going to have days where you scroll for 3 hours. You're going to have evenings where you do nothing productive. You're going to have moments where you avoid the thing you're supposed to do. And that's okay. That's human. The problem isn't that you waste time. The problem is that you beat yourself up for it so much that you can't even enjoy the time you're wasting. You can't rest because you feel guilty. You can't scroll without the voice in your head telling you you're failing. You can't just exist without feeling like you should be doing more. So you end up in this awful middle zone where you're neither resting nor working. You're just guilty, anxious, number, and that's exhausting. What if you just let yourself waste time sometimes? What if you said, okay, tonight I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to scroll or watch TV or stare at the wall or whatever, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Not every night, not as a default, but sometimes when you actually need it, when you're too tired to do anything else, when trying to be productive would just make everything worse. What if wasting time was okay? As long as you were honest about it, as long as you weren't lying to yourself that you're resting when you're really just numbing. I don't have a perfect answer for this. I don't have a system or a strategy or a 5-step process to stop wasting time, because I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that we've forgotten how to just be. We've forgotten that not every moment needs to be useful, that sometimes you're just going to exist for a while without doing anything meaningful. And that's okay. The problem isn't the time. The problem is the guilt, the voice that tells you you're failing every time you're not productive, the voice that counts every wasted hour as proof that you're not good enough. Maybe the answer isn't to stop wasting time. Maybe it's to stop feeling so bad about it, to stop treating every unproductive moment as a moral failure. Maybe it's okay to waste time as long as you're present for it, as long as you're honest about it, as long as you give yourself permission to be human instead of a productivity machine. You don't have to optimize every second. You don't have to make every moment count. You don't have to prove your worth through constant achievement. You can just be for a little while, without guilt, without anxiety, without the constant voice telling you should be doing more. Maybe that's what rest actually is. Not scrolling, not numbing. Just being okay with being still, even if it feels like wasting time. I believe in you. Now believe in yourself.